जय गोपीजनवल्लभ जय गिरिवरधारी जय गिरिवरधारी जय यशोदानन्दन जय ब्रजजनरञ्जन जय ब्रजजनरञ्जन यमुनतिरवनचारी जय कुञ्ज बिहारी यमुनतिरवनचारी जय कुञ्ज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुञ्ज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुञ्ज बिहारी यमुनतिरवनचारी जय कुञ्ज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुञ्ज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुञ्ज बिहारी हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय श्री श्री राधा गोविंद देव भगवान जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा मैया गौर निताय नरसिंह देव भगवान जय श्री प्रभुपाद की जय। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna to all the devotees. Thank you again for joining this session. Um, Actually, I think Sharda Prabhu, I know many devotees and we are meeting after a long time. So, so today's topic, Hare Krishna. Prabhu. Today's topic for the discussion is the change your destiny. So you might have, you might have heard many people talk about destiny, right? In material life as well as in our spiritual life, in devotional. So everybody has some destiny, right? And people keep talking about the destiny. Now, when we talk about destiny, there is obvious word that is, that comes with destiny is the karma, right? So our destiny decide based on what activities we do, right? Based on what karma we do, right? Now, this karma is a buzzword, probably. Is not only in India. I was in US for last 1.5 5 years. So I happened to meet one of the friend. Like his name is Vanmali Prabhu. So I went to Vanmali Prabhu's house for like we used to meet every Friday for Bhakti Ruksha. But that day I went for some program at his house, and there was unfortunate thing happened. There was accident that took place near his house, and what happened, the person actually who made an accident, he passed away. So one Mali Prabhu was telling me that there were some neighbor people were they were actually they coming on the road to see their accident, and one of the American, he said, it's karma, it's karma, it's karma. So one Mali Prabhu was surprised, you know being an American, he's talking about karma. So then he went to that person and say, why did you say karma? What is the relation between that, that incident, that accident took place, and that person died away, he passed away, and you are saying karma? So how it relate? So he said, karma, man, karma. So then, then he said that, it's because of the karma, because of the activity that we do, we face the result, we face the, every action there is equal and opposite reaction. So the point here I'm trying to make is, not only in India, even you go to Western countries, there the people know what is karma. Karma is the buzzword. Now, every karma, every action that we have is has opposite reaction. Like there is a Newton's third law, right? So every action there is opposite and equal reaction. We know that. We are studying it from our school days. And out of these three laws, the only third law is very simple, and that I used to, remember. Like it was very easy to remember. So I used to tell that whenever teacher asked me, every action there is opposite and equal reaction, right? Now, for example, you take more than what you're supposed to take. Uh, like you take a food more than what you should take. Next day you will you will feel some stomach unrest in stomach, right? Now, for example, sometimes in order to complete your work, you need to, you cannot sleep early in the night. You need to be awake late night, and the next day, the result is there. If you throw some ball on some wall, that ball is supposed to come back to you, right? So every action there is opposite and equal reaction, and we cannot avoid that. That is the law of nature, right? Now, what Krishna says about this in Bhagavad Gita? So Krishna says there is a beautiful verse in Bhagavad Gita, and Krishna says, "Kim kim karmeti kavayo patra mohita tatte karma pravakshami jajnatva mokshase subha." So what Krishna says to Arjuna, that you know this the karma, like for example in Bhagavad Gita, like there are five things discussed majorly in Bhagavad Gita. Every one of us know, right? So that five things are: number one is Ishvara, number two Prakriti, then Kal, then Jiva, and the last is Karma. So these five things are discussed in detail in Bhagavad Gita. Now, the only thing that is in our control is karma, right? So if you do right kind of activity, if you connect with the right association, by following that, by doing that right activity, we can change our destiny. That is in our hand. We can do that. But other things are not in our hand. Like, Ishwar, like who made all this universe, not only material universe but the spiritual universe. Then we have Prakriti. Prakriti is also made by Krishna, by Lord, right? So it's very difficult. We cannot control Prakriti, right? We cannot control even our own body. What to say about the Prakriti, about this cosmic manifestation or this material world, right? It's not possible. Then Jiva, like Jiva is a living entity, right? So Jiva is again made by Krishna. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, "Mamay vansho jiva loke jiva bhutas sanatana manasastani indriyani prakrtistani karshati." So Krishna declares that each and every living entity, right from the Brahma to the ant, the smallest creature, everybody is part and parcels of Krishna. Okay, so we are part and parcels of Krishna. But what happened? As soon as we get in touch with this material world, this Prakriti, and this material world has the influence of three gunas: Rajoguna, Sattoguna, Rajoguna, and Tamoguna, right? So as soon as we come in contact with Rajoguna and Tamoguna, what happened? We forget what we are. We don't, like, we identify ourselves with the body. We forget that we are part and parcels of Krishna. We are not we are not this body, we are the spirit soul. And due to that, we always struggle with this material nature, with along with our mind and senses. So that is what Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. Right. So in this shloka, what Krishna says, Kim karmeti, Kim akarmeti, kavayo patra mohita. Kim karmeti, kavayo patra mohita. So action and inaction. So Krishna tells Arjuna that, Arjuna, even intelligent people, most intelligent person also sometimes bewildered that what is action and what is inaction, what is karma, what is akarma, and what is vikarma. So these are, this is like this topic is a complex one, and even intelligent person cannot understand and he bewildered. The example is Lord Brahma. Lord Brahma is the engineer of this world. He has created this world. Now, if you want to construct a small building, we know what amount of effort we need to put on constructing the building, right? It's not easy. First of all, we have to find out the land, and the land should be, it should not be agricultural land, or it should be suitable for constructing the building. Then we need to find out whether that land has got approval from the different government departments. We have all the document in place or not. Many things we need to understand and we need to verify. Otherwise, if you don't verify, you'll be in problem. And then next thing is we need to find out, somebody who can give us the layout, and we tell us like how we should construct it. So for constructing a small building, we need to put a lot of efforts, and different stakeholders are involved into that. What to speak of creating this material world. So you can understand then what kind of intelligence or what kind of capacity Brahma has. But that Brahma, who is the first person in this material world, and who has created this, manifested this material world, has, he was also bewildered. So when he appeared from the novel of the Lord Krishna, like Vishnu, he don't know what to do. So he was thinking like, what is the purpose of my life, how I got originated, who is the source, and what I'm doing here in this world, and what I need to do. So all this question Brahma has. And then when Brahma heard word tapa, that time, he realized that, I need to do some austerity. I need to put some effort to understand all these things. And then he started doing austerity for many thousands of years. And then Krishna has, he has revealed everything to him. And then Brahmaji started doing his job. So the Brahma, a person like Brahma can get bewildered, then what to speak of the common person like us? So that's what Krishna says in this shloka. He says that you are bewildered in determining what is action and what is inaction. Now I shall explain to you what action is, knowing which you shall be liberated from all misfortune. So Krishna is telling the principles of karma. What is karma, what is akarma, and what is vikarma. Now, in order to understand what is karma, what is vikarma, karma, we'll take a small example. So, what happened, like when I was in US, that in US, it's very like the rules are very strict, traffic rules are very strict. It's not like now in India, also, government has started doing that. Recently, they have changed the fines, right? If you don't have license, how much they charge the fine if uh, if you do not put a belt on, all these things. So like I was traveling from Chicago to Milwaukee, and along with me there was my brother-in-law. So we were traveling, and when I was traveling from Chicago to Milwaukee, we spent almost a couple of years in US. So I was aware about the laws, the rules and regulation. Now it was a highway, and the speed limit on the highway was 70 miles per hour. But because of some or other reason, i I was actually traveling, and I think I was traveling with more than 70 mile per hour. So immediately cop came, that police came, and he tried to stop me. And when I stopped, I said, what is the problem, what has happened? So the police says that, sir, this is a highway, and the speed limit for the highway is 70 mile per hour. but unfortunately you are driving more than 100 mile per hour. So you have broke the rule. So when since you break the rule, now you know you you need I need to give you ticket. So he gave me a ticket. He fined me actually $200, and so basically I'm not following the rule here, right? So that become a vikarma. Okay. So whenever we don't follow the rule prescribed by, we are taking material example, wherein I am not driving with the correct speed, and the cop came and he has given me a ticket. He has fined me. He has charged me $200. So that activity is a vikarma. My brother-in-law was driving with the correct speed. He has not crossed the the speed that is mentioned by government. So that activity is a karma, right? Now, what is a karma? A karma is that you become a cop, you become a police, right? Because when you become a police, see, when I was traveling with the 110 or 100 mile per hour, in order to catch me, the cop has to obviously drive a vehicle more than that, right? But nobody is going to ask cop that why you are driving with this speed. Nobody is charging him, giving him a ticket or charging him that fine, right? Because he's a part of that administration. He's a part of that, entire setup, right? So that's the akarma is something that you become a part of the universal government, right? You become a part of Krishna's setup, right? And then you no need to worry about other thing, like like vikarma, because you are not doing vikarma, because since you are not doing that, you need not worry. But in while doing a karma also, there are chances that you might create some issue. But when you are doing a karma, that means you are doing everything for the satisfaction of Lord Krishna. And when you are doing everything for the satisfaction of Lord Krishna, you need not do anything. You need not worry about anything, right? So one of the simple example I would like to give you, that we do some good activity, right? So I remember when I was in Hyderabad. I was in Hyderabad, and we used to stay there. And that time I was actually going through some software course, and I have a partner. He was from South India, and I could convince him about the Krishna consciousness, and that was the initial phase of Krishna consciousness. And he got convinced, and he started chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and he used to read Bhagavad Gita every day. Now, what happened after that? There was one more guy joined us. His name was Kumar Swami, right? And that guy, he stayed with us for more than 2 months. And we used to tell him about the Krishna consciousness. We used to tell him about Bhagavad Gita, and we used to request him to chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. But he has never chanted Hare Krishna, you know. And then one day I was like, I was restless, like I thought, mm, like this guy, I don't know what is the reason. Why don't he chant Hare Krishna? Because what happened when you get some benefit out of doing something, like Hare Krishna Mahamantra will make your life blissful. So we would like to have that blissful, experience, that everybody should get that experience, and that's the reason devotees keep telling everybody chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, right? So that guy told me, Kumar told me that, see, Prabhuji, I am doing my activities. I am not doing anything which is against law. I am doing this course. I am taking care of my parents. I don't fight with anybody. I don't create problem to anybody. I keep helping everybody. Even I go to the old age home, and I donate some money there. Then I distribute some food to the poor. So I do all good activities. And after doing all this thing, I don't think I need to do anything more than that. So why should I chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra? So I said that exactly is the point. So what you are telling is not something that you are doing special. As a human being, we should behave like that. Like, you should not create problem to anybody. We should help everybody, and we should cooperate with all the people. But all what you are telling me is a part of karma. This is a karma. And when you do karma, in order to when you do this punya karma or whatever good activities, in order to enjoy the fruits of that karma, whatever you have done, whatever you have, whatever activities you have done, you need to take birth again into this material world. So if you do good work, you need to take birth again to enjoy the fruits of that good work. If you do bad works, vikarma, then again you need to come to this material world or some hellish planet to experience the result of that bad activities. But if you work for Krishna, then there is no plus minus. Your account is clear, right? So in that case, you no need to come to the material world. Neither you have to enjoy the fruits of your good work, nor you have to suffer from the bad activities you did, because you are doing vikarma. So vikarma means you will get rid of all these material activities, whether it is good or bad, and you will go to abode of the Krishna, right? You will go to Golok Vrundavan. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita in 15th chapter, न तद्भासयते सूर्यो न शशांको न पावकः यत् गत्वा न निवर्तन्ते तद्धाम paramam mama. Krishna declares that, O Arjuna, न तद्भासयते suryo, the place where we do not require the sunshine, the moonshine, and that abode is the, illuminate, like it is self-illuminating, and it does not require any help. For example, in this material world, if tomorrow morning there is no sun, our life become miserable because we do not get light independently from this planet. We need to take help from planet like sun and moon for to get the light. But that's not the case in case of material. In case of Krishna's abode, it is, it is swayam prakashit, like it is self illuminating. And anybody who become my devotee will comes there, will not come back to this material world. Natat bhasayate surya nashanko na pavakaha yadgatvana nivartante tadhama brahmam. So once he left this body from this material world, he will never come back to this material world, and he'll be with me. He'll enjoy there with me. So that's the reason when we do some activity, we should do it for Krishna. If you want to eat something, do it for Krishna. If you want to see something, do it for Krishna. Everything you should do it for Krishna. So there is a beautiful word in Bhagavad Gita. It says, Yat karoshi yadashnasi yat juhosi tadasi vat yat tapasyasi konteya tat kurushva madarpanam. So what Krishna says in this shloka? Krishna says, whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you offer or give away, and whatever austerities you perform, do that, O son of Kunti, as an offering to me. So, when devotees when devotees do day-to-day activities, people thinks like, it's like a materialistic person, it's like a ordinary man, but it's not like that. So in general, people will do everything for for themselves, for their, but devotees will do it for Krishna. So for example, you know we as a living entity are active, so we cannot be inactive. It's not possible. And some people says that, I will not do any activity, I will just keep quiet. So he may keep quiet for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, maximum 1 hour, but after that he has to do some activity, because that is the characteristics of the living entity. We cannot be inactive, we have to be active, whether you are in this world or you are in other world, whether you are, wherever you are, or you are in, currently we are in the human form of body, you may have another body. So you have to be active, you cannot be inactive. That's the nature of soul. Now when you want to be active, then do this activity for Krishna. And when you do it for Krishna, you will follow principle of karma, like it's akarma. And when you are doing akarma, as I said, you will get liberated from all these material miseries, right? For example, you want to, uh, um, everybody in order to live has to take a food, right? Anybody is there who can live without food or water? It's not possible. We must take food, we must drink water. So then what you should do? When we eat the food, instead of eating it directly, what we can do, we should prepare it without onion garlic. We should prepare it nicely, we should put the tulsi leaves, and then offer it to Krishna with devotion and love, because Krishna says patram pushpam phalam toya in Bhagavad Gita. So Krishna says, anybody who offer me with love and affection, I will accept it. So offer that food prepared by you without onion garlic to Krishna with love and devotion. And then Krishna will give you the remnants. The remnants of the Krishna will become a prasad for you, and that will not only nourish your body but also nourish your soul. Then you want to smell something, then you go to the temple, or you offer flowers to Krishna, and take that flowers which is offered to Krishna from the lotus feet of Krishna, and take the smell of the flower. Then you want to see something, you can see a beautiful vigraha of Lord Krishna, Nityananda, Lord Nityananda, Lord Chaitanya, Radha Krishna vigraha you can see. So like that, you try to involve, you try to engage all your senses in the service of Krishna. So whatever you do it for Krishna. You are going to market to bring vegetables and grocery. So when you are going there, you should, immediately it should come in your mind that, oh, my Krishna like this curry, so let me go and buy a best of the best curry for Krishna, vegetable for Krishna. Oh, I know that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu like this curry. Let me go and find out that curry for the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu for Krishna. So like that you should have. So it automatically your consciousness will become a Krishna consciousness. The material consciousness will turn into Krishna consciousness. So now when we talk about Krishna consciousness is all, all about making people a karma, making people part of the government. Which government? Not the current government, universal government. Because universal government is run by Lord Krishna. And when we become a part of that government, what you are doing, you are not only, what you can say, you are not only following the rules, but also you are, assisting other people's, you are educating other people to become a part of that universal government of Krishna, and that way you will become happy. So Krishna says to Arjuna in Bhagavad Gita, right? So Krishna says that, don't worry, Arjuna. Now we are on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, and all these people that you are seeing, they are, like they're your enemy. They are already died. I already killed them. So you just have to become an instrumental. You just become an instrument, and then you will get the credit, because Krishna wants devotee to get the credit. So that's the reason, we should become part of that, universal government that Krishna has, and we should try to um, assist other people. Now now in this context there is one example I would like to tell you, like, how this karma vikarma and the reactions of karma, how it impact us. There is a story, there is not a story, it's an incident actually I heard from one of the Prabhuji, when I was in South India, in Hyderabad, in Srirangam. So in Srirangam, there is a Sharayu river, and on bank of the Sharayu river, there was a there are different villages actually, and Srirangam is the main place where we have the deity of Lord Ranganath. So many of you might be knowing the pastimes of Ranganath. It's a very beautiful pastimes. So we'll discuss it, maybe next time, because it will take time. So Ranganatha temple is there, and near that Ranganath, Srirangam, there was a place. I don't recollect that name, and you know there was a person named Ramaya. So he used to lend money to the people, because he was like a Marwadi, Marwadi. So Marwadi generally they lend the money to the people, and they get like kinds of finance business in the olden days. So nowadays we have banks, a different financial organization where you can get the loan with the less interest rate, but that too they need a security. But olden day there were these saukar, shedjis, like, they used to pay that lend that money. So this guy, he used to lend money to the surrounding villages, and all the farmers they used to take money from him, and once they get their crop, they used to pay back the interest as well as the principal amount to the that person. Now what happened, in order to collect this money, many times he has to personally go to the places and visit that places and get the money, and then he come back to his place. So one fine day, it was a rainy season, that person, that Ramaya, he went to the other village, which was situated on the opposite bank of the river, Sharayu. Now, he has collected all the money, the interest, principal, whatever he can. Now, many people, they were not able to pay the interest and the principals. So then, when it get delayed, this guy used to take them gold, or some jewelry or ornament, whatever it may be, because he has to collect his money, right? So one day he collected all the money, and he was coming back to his place, his village. Now, while coming back, it was a rainy season, and it was a heavy rain, and because of rain, the Sharayu, that river was flowing profusely actually, and so he thought that he will not be able to cross the river, so he decided to take a rest, take a halt at the village, and he said he thought we'll go it tomorrow. Um, so then he tried to. No, it was a small village and nobody was there. Like there were no hotels, there were no arrangement. There was no arrangement there. So what to do? Then he found that there was a small hut. It was just beside that river. There was a small hut. So it was a night time and he was tired and hungry, and somehow he want to take a rest, and he need a shelter. So he approached that hut, nearby hut, and he called, if somebody is there who can help me. And then immediately, the one person came out, and that person was staying with his sister there, and they were very very poor. So he was staying there in the hut, and he said, yes, what can I do for you? He said, sir, today I could not go to my village because of the bad weather, and I'm very tired and hungry. I want to take a rest. So can you please give me shelter for tonight? I will pay for that. He said, hey, that's fine. We are very poor. We are small hut, but whatever we have, we will definitely share with you. You can stay with us. So then that night, that Shedji Saukar, he just rest there, and they gave him some food. It was a small hut, and then he said, okay, now I want to take rest. So they just make some arrangement for him in that hut, and he went. Uh, he just slept. Now the sister, like they were two people, like the person and his sister. The sister says that, brother, this person is a very rich person. I know him. So he lend money to the surrounding villages, and he get money from them. He get a lot of interest and principal. And I'm sure he has a big bag, and in this bag there must be cash, there must be money, gold, jewelry, everything. So why don't we kill this person? We will kill him, and we'll take all of this. So brother said, no, 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 we should not do that. This is not good. He said, see, it is a dark night. It is raining outside, and nobody will know what has happened. And if we take this, we can become a very rich. So then this person was in dilemma. He don't know what to do. Then finally he agreed. He said, okay, let's do it. So then this brother and sister, they killed that person, and they took all the jewelry, money, whatever he has, belonging he has, they took them. And then they somehow throw that body into the river. And then with that money, he become very rich. And with that money, he started new business. And soon, within a 6 months year, he become a big businessman in the town. And then he want to expand his business. Then he started opening new factories, and his business was grown manifold. We say in Hindi, right? Din doguna, raj choguna, like that. So his business grows. And meanwhile, what happened? Uh, his sister died because of some health issue. And then when his business died, he got married, and after getting married, he blessed with the son, beautiful son, son and one son and one daughter, and he was very happy, and life was going smoothly. And then he was expecting that his son will help him in business and he will grow his business more than what he has done. So this way, many months and years went, and then the son become matured and he got his education completed, and then son actually got married. After son getting married, son was trying to help him in his business, and then suddenly he started facing some health problem. So then he took him to the doctor, and doctors could not diagnose what is his health problem and why he's having this problem. And then he said that, doctor, I can spend any amount of money, but my son should get cured. So after that, he has reached many doctors. Even he tried reaching doctors outside India, and for that he has spent a lot of money, but his son could not cure. Now in this process, what happened? He could not concentrate on his business. He could not do anything, and he has spent millions of dollars to treat his son. And then finally, doctor declare that your son, he cannot live for he cannot continue living like this. He will die one day, and he may die soon. So he become very upset. Like he thought that put all my efforts. I raised this business, this factory, but finally nothing is going to happen. My son is leaving me. And then his son was about to die, and he's sleeping. He's actually laying on the bed, and he says, and by that time he lost his business. He lost everything what he has. And then son said, now this is my last moment of my life, and I am going to die any point of time. Before that, I want to meet my father. So this guy, he went to the son and he said, son, what do you want me to do? He said, I want to eat one apple. Can you please get me apple for me? So he said that, I know I have this 20 to 25 rupees. So he said, please get me apple. So he get apple for the son, and son eat that. He ate that apple, and after that, son said, now my whatever you have done for me, whatever money you took from me, now I have my, my, the calculations are done now. He said, what is this, what you are saying? He said, remember, you killed one saukar, one set, and then you took money from him, and then you raise all these big business and factories. I am that person, he said. So I took my money without interest. Only this, if 25 rupees were remaining, that you gave me this apple. So now our calculations are, you know, I knock off everything. That's what he said. So that Sethji become, he don't understand what to do. Then he said, okay, whatever you did with me, I can understand. But what this lady has done, she is your wife. She said, this is not my wife. She is actually your sister who died, and in this life she become my wife. So now she will, she will suffer entire life. I am leaving her now. So that's how is the karmic reaction. So it will come back to us. We cannot run from that. So another story is there in the in the Mahabharata, like many many of you heard is like Dhritarashtra. So Dhritarashtra's 100 sons were killed in the battlefield of Kurukshetra, right? So Dhritarashtra repented on that, and he said that, what is that I have done, that in front of me all my 100 sons got killed. So then Krishna says, you know about this life, but I know your past, your presence, your future, everything. So you was in the many life back, you was the hunter, and you shoot an arrow, and that arrow hit to the nest which has 100 eggs, and that fall down and it got destroyed. And because of that, you have to face this reaction today, that your 100 sons died in front of you. Then he said that, if that is the case, then why that punishment, the reaction was not done at the same time when I shoot this nest with my arrow. Then Krishna says that, it's not easy to produce 100 sons. It says in the scripture that Putra means somebody who, trayate iti, uh, putra means there is a hellish planet with the name Pu. So somebody who, what you can say, who keep you away from that hellish planet is called Putra. Putra means he is keeping you away from the hellish planet. So for one son, if you want to produce, you have that much, you need that much pious credit in order to produce 100 son. How much pious credit you require? So, you know, like Prakriti was waiting for that pious credit to create, credit. And once that pious activity were credited, he got 100 son, and then he got a reaction of that activity that he has done when he was a hunter. So that's how this karmic reaction, every action there is opposite and equal reaction, and we cannot, uh, nobody can avoid it in their life, right? So what scriptures tell us that we should not rejoice if something happened favorably in our life, because next moment same thing can make your life miserable. We don't know. It will be lamentable, right? Like for example, uh, I want to buy a car, and I'm very happy that I got a car. But who knows? Next moment, I may made an accident, and then my life become miserable. The next moment, I will be in the hospital. So we should not immaturely celebrate anything. We should look at everything as a whole. Now there is one story in the Bhagavatam, and the story is of Maharaj Chitraketu. So Maharaj Chitraketu, the story is in the sixth canto in the Bhagavatam. So Maharaj Chitraketu has desired to have a son, and for that, uh, he married to the one of the queen actually, but he did not, he could not produce the son. Then he married another woman. Then he married another woman. So like that, he married. Bhagavatam says that he married to 10 million wives. So we may not believe, but it is there in the Bhagavatam. So he has a very strong desire to have a son. You know. So what happened when the s- the desire, like for example, when I was in the college, we had a subject, extension education. In that, there was a, like, that extension education actually study the behavior of a person who do not accept innovative things. They called as laggard in the language of extension. So there it says the man is a bundle of desire. So there are innumerable, unlimited desires that every individual has. It is says that if you have a space equal to the sky and the ink equivalent to the ocean in this world, and if you write the desire with that, still that will not be possible. It will not be, it will not be sufficient to write the desire of a person. So when we have a desire, what will happen? Our heart is completely filled with that. The surface of our heart, the ocean, is completely filled with the desire, and because of that desire, that person will not understand anything. He just want to get out of, like, somehow you want to complete his desire. So Chitraketu Maharaj also has this desire. Now he has that desire, and he was very very, what you can say, upset, and he want to somehow get the son. And that time what happened, Narad Muni and the Parvat Muni, like, they came and they met him, and they said, why you are so miserable, why you are not feeling good? By seeing your face, I can see that you are lamenting for something. And then he said that, yes, I need a son, and for that I am lamenting. So they said, so why you need a son? Narad Muni says. Then he said that I want to experience the happiness. So I am sure that, when I get son, I will become happy, right? So Narad Muni says that how you come to the conclusion that when you get a son, you will become happy. He said, no, I want to become happy. So it's like there is a story, there is a scientist. So the scientist make one cage, So there, like that cage, what it does, like there are mouse around, right? So that cage is actually designed in such a way that the mouse come inside the cage, and when it comes in that inside the cage, it get trapped, and then the scientists actually try to create some buttons in the cage. So there are four, five, six buttons. So if the mouse try to what you can say, he jump on one button, the roof open, and then there is a break. There is a break that get fell down. If the mouse goes on another button, then what happened? The roof opened, and some stone hitting down on the mouse, and then other button jump on that, the water comes from there. So that way, that mouse can understand that, if I jump on this button, I will get the bread. Okay, so I should take care that I should not jump on other button, because if I jump on this other button, I may like the stone is hitting from the top. So that way, he understand that, and he just sleep that day, and next day morning again he get up, and when he got up again, he started pressing the buttons to get the bread. Now in the night, the scientists change the strategy. The button which, while pressing get bread, that is actually hitting stone now. So then he started hitting stone. Then the mouse become bewildered, like like yesterday it was giving bread, today it is giving, it is hitting stones. So is it, am I doing something wrong? Is it going something wrong? That's what mouse think. So then next day again the scientists change the strategy. Now the mouse was very busy in jumping on this button, that button, and in order to get the bread. And then the third, fifth day, the scientists opened the cage, and so when he opened the cage, ideally mouse should go out, but mouse is so busy in doing this activity that he was he was not ready to go outside. Similarly, we are so absorbed, so engrossed in this activity, that we want to complete our desire. We don't think that what is good, what is bad for us. So similarly, Maharaj Chitraketu also want to have a son, and then Narad Muni bless him son, and he has a queen. The queen name is Krita Dhuti. So she got a son, and when they got a son, they become very happy. And then Narad Muni says that, okay, now you got a son, so you should name him uh, Harsha Shoka. So there was a reason for that, because when the son born, like when they blaze with the sun, they become very happy. But soon that son is going to die, and that's the reason Narad Muni said, keep his name as Harsha Shoka. So now, even if Narad Muni said that he may not live for more number of years, like his age uh, is very short, but Chitraketu, like Maharaj said, thought, okay, anyway, it's fine. I need a son. Now I'm happy. And then what happened? Because he has many queens, he has 10 million queen, right? So other queens start feeling envious about this queen, Dhritakruti, and they decided to give a poison to this son. And when, because poison is given, the son died. And when son died again, the king start lamenting. So when king start lamenting, he become his life become miserable again. And then Narad Muni came. He said, "What has happened? Why you are lamenting?" Then he said, "My son is no more. He died." So he said, "Okay, if you want your son back, then I will revive him." So he again revived him. And then as soon as the son get up, he said, "Who I am?" The son says that, your father is lamenting for you. You become, your death is become a cause of miserable life for your father. So please, that's the reason I revived you. And he said, I don't know who is my father. Lived many lifetime. I don't know this father is from which lifetime. So that's the reason. The point here we are trying to make is that we should not rejoice, or we should not celebrate immaturely. You know, so we have to be very, very dutiful while doing our work, right? And we should be. We will not be able to know unless there is a mercy, unless Krishna, we have. association of good devotees, that what is good and what is bad for us, right? So there is one more beautiful story in this regard, that there was a king, and this king has a ministers. So this minister is a Krishna conscious minister. He was a good person. He was a devotee. So whatever happened in our life, Krishna, that minister says that whatever happened is happened because of the mercy of the Lord. So the king actually liked it, and he said, okay. But another ministers were envious about that minister, and he said, this guy always talks something, and our king believes it. So one day, what happened? This minister and king both, they actually like before that, what happened, like the king was cutting some fruits, and there was an injury that got on his finger. And then the king said to minister that, I got an injury on my finger. And then this minister says that whatever happened, it happened as per Krishna's mercy, as per Krishna's wish. The king become very angry, like, I got an injury, and you are saying that whatever happened is happened by Krishna's mercy. So he kept him in a jail, and he kept him in jail, and then he went to the forest along with other minister. And when he went to the forest, there, they were actually trying to, they went there for hunting. And while doing that, somehow king and minister, they lost the way in the jungle, in the forest. And there, they, the tribal people caught them actually. The cannibals caught them. So they actually, they were looking for somebody for the sacrifice to their god. So they took this this king and the minister for the sacrifice, and they were actually trying to give sacrifice. So they found that king is very good in health, and he's looking bright. So they decided to give king in the sacrifice to their god. So they want to sacrifice king, and then they took king there. So suddenly one of the person from their group, he came and he said, no, no, you cannot give sacrifice to this person. You cannot give sacrifice of this person to God, because he has an injury on his finger. Then they thought, who is the person we should actually sacrifice for to the God. Then they found, okay, this person is better, this minister, so take him. And then somehow king, he escaped from there, and he came to his kingdom. And then immediately he actually ordered to let this minister, free. And when minister came out, he said, what has happened? He said, you know I went to forest. He has explained everything, and because my finger, it got injury, they have not given my sacrifice. They have given the minister sacrifice, and I could save my life. And you said, whatever happened by the mercy of Lord, that is good. But he said, it is good for me, but how it is good for you? Because I put you in the jail. He said, imagine if I am there instead of that minister. If you don't put me jail, and if I am there, where I would be today. So this way, we don't know, right? We don't know. We always look it as, we don't look at, like, for example, Krishna has a big plan. So when Krishna does something, he look at a whole plan. So we may fight many battles, but we have to focus on winning war. And that winning war is, to find our destiny, right? So Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, there is a nice sloka in Bhagavad Gita that says, Antakale cha mameva smaranam mukta kalevaram. Antakale cha mameva smaranam mukta kalevaram ya prayati samadbhava yati nastatra sanshaya. So what Krishna says, that, and whoever and at the end of his life quit his body remembering me alone, at one attains my nature. Of this there is no doubt. So that should be our, destiny, right? I should remember Krishna at the, last moment of my life. I should remember. So if we think about enjoying, then what will happen? We'll get a similar life. And if you want to change our destiny, how we should change our destiny? Then for that, you should change our desire and thoughts, right? So unless you change your desire and thoughts, our destiny cannot be changed. And the desires and thoughts change by the association. Unless we associated with the devotees, our desires and thoughts will not change. So the association is very important. And association creates our aspiration, that what I want to do in future. So that is depend on our association. So association is very, very important. So simple example I would like to give is, Prabhupada has written many books. Like he has actually given many books for us. More than 70 volumes of the books he has given us. So there are many examples that just by associating with the Prabhupada books, the desire change, the thoughts change, and then automatically the destiny has changed. So there is an example from Russia, like I heard it from one of Prabhuji. So in Russia, Krishna conscious movement is growing fast, and many people got actually benefited out of Krishna consciousness, and they are practicing Krishna consciousness actively and very 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 happily. So one of the girl, she was just 12 to 30, 12 years old girl. She was distributing her books in Russia. I don't exactly recollect the city name, but she was distributing books there. And this is a real incident which has happened before 10 years. So she was distributing books on the platform, on railway platform. And there was a person who was actually, he was traveling, and she was trying to sell the books to that person, but especially Bhagavad Gita. So that person became angry. He became angry. He said, "Why you are trying to sell me this book? Why you are again and again disturbing me?" She said, "No, no, you should take this book. This is very important. You should take this book." So that guy, he became very angry. He said, "You want money, right? You want? I'll just give you money and just get out of this place." So he gave money to that girl, and he just threw that Bhagavad Gita on the platform. So she become very upset. Like, I'm trying to distribute Bhagavad Gita, I'm trying to preach this person, but he's not listening. He just throw this Bhagavad Gita and give his money. So see what she did. She took the Bhagavad Gita, and somehow she put that Bhagavad Gita in his basket. And then he came with that Bhagavad Gita to his home. And when he saw that Bhagavad Gita again, he took that Bhagavad Gita and threw it in the dustbin. So there was a lady, actually, she was a maid. She was helping that person to do his domestic work. So she saw that Bhagavad Gita, and she just tried to arrange the pages properly, and she just what you can say, bind it again, and she just put it in the bookshelf. After some time, what happened? This guy, he was working in the field of finance. He was a financial manager. His wife actually died because of some disease, and both, like, he has one son and one daughter. Both of them left him, and they never like uh, their father, and they have some what you can say, um, they do not actually listen to him, and they have some argument disargument, and they just left home. Now this guy, this person become miserable. His wife left, son is was not there with him, daughter was not with him. So what to do? So he become very very upset, and he went into depression, and he want to commit a suicide. So before committing suicide, he just saw to the book shelf, and there he saw that there was a book, and he thought, anyway, I'm going to die. Let me read this book. So he started reading Bhagavad Gita, and while reading Bhagavad Gita, he got association, proper books association, right? He was reading Bhagavad Gita, and by the time he read all 700 shloka, his life got transformed, because he understood that he is not his body, he is a spirit soul, and nothing is in our hand. Everything happened due to our past karma and all. So even if his wife left, his son is not there, his daughter left. So then he got a meaning of life, meaning for the life. And immediately, he actually approached one of the temple, nearby temple, and he started doing service there. So since he knows about the finance, he become a treasury. He handled a treasury department, finance department in the temple. And one fine day, after 4 5 years, he saw the same girl in the temple. And as soon as he saw that girl, he started crying profusely. Like he said that, I am the one, who actually who scolded you that day, I throw you, uh, I throw that Bhagavad Gita. I did I did actually many things with you that I'm not supposed to do. So he started crying profusely. And that girl said, don't worry. So, so that's how the association of the book, like, Prabhupada Bhagavad Gita changed his life. So if you have a good association, then what will happen? Your thoughts will change, your desire will change, and then ultimately your destiny also will be changed. Like there are many examples. I am giving many examples because I'm trying to give my realization. When I was in Hyderabad, I remember that, people were reluctant to take the Bhagavad Gita. We were trying to distribute the Bhagavad Gita, and they were reluctant to take it. So we were actually the popular spot for distributing Bhagavad Gita for us was the Birla Temple in Hyderabad. So this temple is very famous and many visitors came there. So we used to go with our devotee friends and we used to distribute Bhagavad Gita there. Now, while distributing Bhagavad Gita, we were waiting for almost 2 to 3 hours, and nobody took Bhagavad Gita from us, and we were very upset. And suddenly, one person came, and that person, he said, "I am interested to buy this Bhagavad Gita," and he took five Bhagavad Gita. So then, one of my devotee friend asked, like, why did you? Uh, what is the reason you bought five Bhagavad Gita from us? So he said that, you people were trying to sell Bhagavad Gita, trying to distribute Bhagavad Gita from morning. I saw you without having any, breakfast, anything. You were trying to distribute Bhagavad Gita, and even after 4 years, 4 hours, 5 years, you have got the same enthusiasm, same happiness on your face, and that got attracted me, and that's the reason I want to buy it from you. So, so people actually, they many people have miserable atmosphere or situation around them, whether in the office or in the home. Everybody is busy, nobody is interested to talk with anybody. And when they see this kind of at selfless attitude, they see people who are doing service without any selfish motive, they get attracted, and with that association their life get blissful. So we should be more selfless. We should be more. We should leave that selfish motive. We should try to, do something for others to make really, make difference in their life. Then people will slowly get, attracted. And the basis for happiness is a gratitude, service attitude, and the sense of selfless service. So that way, you can begin to change your destiny, and it will not happen in one day. For example, you are traveling with the 100 kilometer per hour of speed, and suddenly somebody wants you to take a turn. It's not possible. You need to come down. First of all, you need to come down from 100 to 40, from 20 kilometer per hours, and then slowly you can take the turn. So transformation of thoughts, it will get time, and we need to give that time. And for that, you need to uh, so it will take time, and you need to get time, and you need to get sorry, you need to take association from the right person, from the devotees, because the desire in our heart, they are very strong, they will not go immediately. So there was a person, actually he was doing a business, and he was doing, like, he become almost 85 years of age. And after becoming 85 years of age also, he was so much interested in business that he used to go every day without fail to his shop. So he used to have a big cloth shop. He used to go to the shop, and he used to check everything, that all the servants, everybody is doing his job or not. He used to take the account, check the account. He used to see whether he receive money from the customers. Everything he used to see. So, like, I have seen many example in my life. There are many, like one of my relatives. He's my close relatives. He's now more than 85, 80 years of age, but still, he want to do his activity what he used to do earlier. So it's very difficult. It's not possible to uh, change the desire of doing something. So this person, he's a cloth merchant, and he want to do his job. So his son actually, they fed up with all this. So they thought that, now you become 85 years of age. So what you should do now, you should take rest. You should go to the temple. You should do chant, Hare Krishna mantra and also. Uh, then this guy, he don't listen. Then finally, what their son decide, they meet one sadhu, and they said, you do one thing, sir. You take my father to a pilgrimage. You go to the places wherever you want. You go to Vrindavana, you go to Dwarka, you go to uh, Jagannath Puri, you go wherever you want, and make sure the desire in my father's heart, the desire will change. So he has only desire to, do the business, to attend the shop, and do all these things. So you do something for that. And during this pilgrimage, whatever money, whatever expenses you have, that I will bear that money, but you take him with you. So they said, okay, let's try. So they take the person, that cloth merchant, with them, and they visited different holy places with, pilgrimage. And while visiting that, these people thought that, there is some transformation. But wherever they go on the pilgrimage, on the holy in the at the holy places, this guy started planning something. He want to plan this business, he want to plan that business. So one day, this sadhu, he called to the son, and he said, it's very difficult to change the desire, like, change his attitude. I don't think he will, because now he's everywhere we are going, he's planning something about the business. And I'm afraid that I might start doing business, like your father. So that is the influence of association. Then one day, what happened, this guy, like he said, it's not possible for us, we will not be able to change his idea, his attitude. His desire is so strong. He said, no, 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 try for some time, I will pay money, don't worry. You can take him to the different places of pilgrimage. And then, while traveling, they go to Varanasi. Varanasi, there is a Dashomegh Ghat, right? Burning Ghat. And there, they actually the cremation ground. Uh, so there, all the dead bodies are lying there, and they're, dead bodies. So while seeing that, this person, this cloth merchant, he started crying. So then the sadhu thought, okay, now our purpose is served. At last, this person, he started crying, I think. Now, they ask him, now tell us, what is your realization? What do you think about this? So then he said, he started crying, and he said, for all this year I did cloth business. But if I know that, that the wood is there is such a demand for wood on this cremation ground, I would have done the wood business instead of cloth business. So that's how. So, his desire is so strong that even after seeing the dead bodies there and the cremation ground and this, still he's thinking about that business. So how it is possible then? How that desire can be changed? It is only abhyasena tu kaunteya. Krishna says, by doing abhyasa, by doing regular swadhyaya, by doing regular abhyas, we can get rid of this desire. We can change our desire, and for that we need association. And in order to get the association, we should always look for association, and same time we should follow the principles, our ABCD principle, that associating with the devotees and book reading, chanting, and take Krishna Prasadam. So if we do this, and if we chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, definitely our desire get changed. Now many people, they challenge that, how it is possible by chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra your desire will get changed, or your thoughts will be, get changed, or you get transformed. So it's all about experience. So if somebody wants to experience this, he should follow these principles. He should chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and then he should experience that, and it will, his life will get transformed. Now, recently, I was hearing one small program conducted by Shivram Prabhu. So he said, Prabhupada, like many, he has given actually, he has given example that Prabhupada has given. So one person reached to the Prabhupada, and he said, Prabhupada said, will chant Hare Krishna. He said, I will not chant Hare Krishna. In what way it makes difference in my life? What will happen by chanting Hare Krishna mantra? Then Prabhupada said, Hare Krishna Mahamantra will, it will actually change your, it will have impact on your heart. It will change your desire, your thoughts. So he don't listen. Then Prabhupada said, okay, if I say you rascal, does it make impact on your heart? He said, yes, I will not feel good. So Prabhupada said, if rascal is the material world, right? So by saying rascal, if your heart, you are saying that it is hurting you, then Hare Krishna Mahamantra is the transcendental sound vibration. So if by saying rascal you got hurt, or it is impacting your heart, then don't you think that by chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, which is transcendental, it will transform your heart? It will definitely transform your heart. So that's the reason we should follow this four principle, and we should chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra regularly. And you will see that because what happened, even Tukaram Maharaj says that padile vadana indriya sakada भावतो निराळा नाही तुझ्या पांडुरंग ध्यानी पांडुरंग मनी. So it is very difficult if somebody is doing his lifetime same activity, and at the last moment of his life you are telling him that chant Hare Krishna mantra. It's not possible. So for that we need to start doing it from now itself. We should start doing this abhyasa. We should chant Hare Krishna mantra regularly. We should read Bhagavad Gita. We should read Bhagavatam, and we should associate with the devotees. That way our heart gets it actually, our thoughts will change, our desire will change, and our life get transformed. And that way, when our desire change, our thoughts change, our destiny also change. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. I stop here. So if I say something wrong, please forgive me, because I was trying to share my realization that I have, and whatever I heard from the senior Vaishnavas. So I'm trying to share my realization after a long time. So thank you very much for Hare Krishna. If you have any question, maybe question we can discuss. Hare Krishna. Yeah. Okay, Guruji. Okay, Guruji, we'll stop here then. Thank you, Guruji. Thank you all. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
Hare